it looks like Trump was able to stay on the ballot in Illinois as the election board declines to remove him, even though uh, they do believe he violated the insurrection clause of the 14th Amendment. They feel like they don't have the jurisdiction to remove him from the ballot, and waiting for the Supreme Court to make their ruling. We can only hope that the Supreme Court bans him from uh, the election ballot because Trump did participate in an insurrection and he tried to interfere with the election.
Well, good afternoon. It did not take the board very long to come to their unanimous decision, and they followed the advice of their counsel, the board's counsel, to allow former President Donald Trump to remain on the primary ballot come March. Now, the board is made up of 4 Democrats and 4 Republicans, and they made their decision after hearing from attorneys on both sides. Just last week, the board's hearing officer, a retired conservative judge, issued a non-binding opinion saying there was no question the former president did violate the insurrection clause found in the 14th Amendment and should have his name removed. But he also said the court should decide this issue, not the state board of elections. The attorney for the objectors say the only thing the board decided today was to avoid a serious matter, and they do plan to file an appeal in the courts this afternoon.
Mr. Trump did not engage in insurrection, as that term is used in the Constitution. It is a complicated legal term that has been rarely interpreted, and it wasn't even articulated correctly by the hearing officer in this case, and frankly never should have reached it because of the lack of evidence and because of the lack of jurisdiction.
I think what they're really saying is that, I'm not sure how well this was even understood, but what the general counsel is recommending them to say, assuming they took her recommendation, is that unless Mr. Trump knew he was lying when he executed the certificate of candidacy, he hasn't violated Illinois law. That scienter or knowledge requirement appears nowhere in the Illinois Election Code and nowhere in the entire body of decided case law with regard to candidate qualifications in Illinois.
Now, the Supreme Court may rule on this for all the states. It does have oral arguments set for early next month on the decision to whether or not let Donald